Hello, everybody, and welcome to Inside Cornerstone, your weekly look at everything going on at Cornerstone First Global Methodist Church here in Alexander City, Alabama. I'm Brett Pritchard alongside Billy Coleman, the pastor here at Cornerstone First Global, and I call him Coach. So, Coach, how you doing, buddy?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm not sure after this past weekend, Coach is as good a title
Well, it depends
as it
on
might have been. Well, I know what you're going to say. Well, thank
anyway,
you. It's great to be with you,
it
Brett.
is.
I look forward to it. I got to tell you.
Yeah, you know, I have to do
love
an
it.
Auburn show right before this show.
I know,
so
and I'm in there making
I-
faces at you.
Well, right now it doesn't take a lot to make faces at Auburn for sure. But,
Yeah, and I know things didn't go well Friday night.
They didn't. So, you know, again, you
That's
have,
sports for you.
That's sports. So
Yeah.
you look forward to the next week and you
sure
try to
do.
watch. Hey, just like wins, losses the same way. You either celebrate them or you mourn over them, and then you move on to the next week.
You know, a great quality that's in the Bible that is definitely part of a football program is perseverance.
Absolutely.
You know, perseverance
I love that word.
is all in the Bible, and you're teaching kids a lot off the field when you teach them how to let's keep pushing on, let's don't give up, let's focus on getting better.
Right.
Those are things that apply to the life, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, that word is, again, if you're around athletics or you're around anything where you're trying to drive forward and move forward, you have to persevere through things. It's not going to be a clear path. It's not going to be, paved smoothly for you.
That's
You're going
right.
to figure out a way to fight through things. And I know we could go on and on about sports.
It
but
makes you stronger.
It does. I mean, you can either
This is Christianity.
Well, it is. You can either give up, and it's going to really go into what we're going to talk about some today. But you can either give up and just kind of fall back into the shadows, or you can choose to fight for what you believe in and what you want to do and what you want to become, and that makes it all the more sweeter on the other side when you get there. So I know we've got a lot that we want to discuss today. We do want to welcome everybody in to the show, and we appreciate all of you that tune us in each and every week. And we also want to thank our sponsors for allowing this program to be broadcast on TV and radio. Again, it's an opportunity for us to share the things that we have going on in the life of our church, and gives you an inside look to see if this is a place that you would like to come and visit if you're not a member, or to kind of spread the word maybe, and also to kind of promote maybe some things that you're doing out there, in your churches. This is not just about us out here, but it's about God and Jesus Christ. So looking at what we want to talk about today, there is some headline news here in the state of Alabama, as Auburn had an event a week ago called Unite in Auburn Arena, and it was really Hugh Freeze and Bruce Pearl and Butch Thompson, along with several other guest speakers, but just a great crowd showed up. It was basically student led, but there were a lot of people in attendance there. And then after that event, they made their way out, and a lot of Auburn people know where that red barn is in the pond. I've been out there numerous times, but several people gave their life to Christ out there, and Hugh Freeze was out in the water helping baptizing. So,
absolutely.
And I want to start there real quick. And I know this is an extension of Auburn Blitz from our show, but look, I do want to say this, and this is, and I knew when I saw Hugh Freeze doing what he did, I knew what people would say on Twitter and what people would say in social media. Well, look at there. Look who has found God. Look who is, all they wanted to pull out all the past transgressions of Hugh Freeze.
I see where you're going.
And it really, I thought about that, Coach, and really it goes along with the theme of your message on Sunday about imperfect people. The first person that's perfect out there, please stand up. And
they put him on the cross.
Well, they did.
Yeah,
they did.
Right.
And so, but the next person, I guess, please stand up if you're out there. And we all know there's not one.
That's right.
And Hugh Freeze hasn't run from his past transgressions. If anything, he's faced them head on. And I know a lot of naysayers out there don't like that. They want him to be embarrassed, or they want him to run into the shadows and try to hide and make excuses. But that's not what he's done. And I think we all have to face the things that we do, and he's done that. So why not Hugh Freeze out in the water? Why isn't he the perfect example of what Jesus Christ is trying to do? Is he's taking somebody that does have a past like we all do and is not ashamed of it, but has faced it and has asked for forgiveness and is out there trying to help the same kind of person go out there in the water and be baptized. I mean, to me, it's the perfect picture of who should be doing that.
They're my heroes. I mean, say what you want to. We're all sinners in need of forgiveness. There's a war, and I know we're going to get into this. There is a war in this country, and at stake is our young people. And there are groups of people, and we're going to talk about one of them. We better choose our words carefully. We'll get sued, Brett. But there's people out there that want to move our young people away from the cross. Right. Anybody that gets out there like those coaches, and all of our universities have that element. Fellowship of Christian Athletes is all throughout. But when they go out there and take a stand for Christ, put me on their side. I'm going to go with them. I mean, it gets a little crazy on here sometimes. I'm sorry, but we'll keep our cool. We sure appreciate you listening. But there's people that do stuff, and there's people that watch people that do stuff, and there's people that complain about people that do stuff. Right. When somebody gets out there and does something in the name of Christ, great. Where can I help and support them instead of putting them down and handing them over to people that would take our young people away from the cross? What you going to choose? Someone that brings them towards the cross, right, or somebody moves them away from the cross?
There's going to come a time where, in this world we live in that, we're going to face a decision, and it's going to be, are we going to fight for what we believe in, no matter the circumstances of what that is on this earth? Right. Are we going to bow down to the oppressors, into the evil of the world, and just to survive and live? It really boils down to that. And I know you've used the Columbine story as an example before of the young lady that
Rachel,
right, exactly. And so it just that's what it really boils down to. And this is another example of that. And again, it's easy, and we can use sports again as an analysis. It's easy on Monday morning to go back and look at the film and tell everybody how bad of decisions they made on the sideline, or sit up in the stands and point a finger and say, well, I would have done this. Why did you run that play? Yeah, hindsight's 20/20, right? But when you're in the moment, it's a whole different ball game. So, the Teddy Roosevelt thing, for some reason, the man in the arena, you go back, it's hard to criticize the man in the arena.
Right.
It really is, because the person standing off to the side that has all the answers didn't take that step to go put themselves out there and to put themselves, I would say, I don't want to use the word harm's way, but it kind of in harm's way, or to kind of expose themselves for ridicule or the fear of failure or whatever. Those people never accomplish anything in life. Those that sit back and
throw darts.
And throw darts and are scared to take that step themselves.
Exactly. All right, Brett, trivia question. Who wrote more material in the Bible than any other writer, would you say? Paul. Brett, he killed Christians. That's what he did before he became converted. Let's throw some stones at him. Right. Jesus was in the line of one of the great kings, that being David.
That's right.
Oh, wait a minute. David sent a woman's husband to war to get him killed. So David could get to know her better.
Imperfect people.
Full of it. Imperfect people.
Manipulated people.
That's right.
Exactly. That again.
Right.
If you look at who Jesus chose as his disciples,
tax collectors.
Just start there. Just start there. Start with all the things, all the way up until his death. They were bickering and arguing, and who was better and who was loved more and all that. If anything, people should take away from all of this and every story that we read in the Bible, that the Bible's full of a bunch of us. That's where we should find comfort and faith. Is the Bible's full of them? It would be scary to open up the Bible and read about a bunch of perfect people.
You get me fired up, man.
So,
I'm
you know
ready
what
to
I
go
mean?
out and hit somebody. I mean, come on, man.
Well, we did tie some football into this.
All
to
right.
get
Well,
things
I know
started.
that we're going to talk during this show about a group in Madison, Wisconsin, the Freedom from Religion group, who I have tremendous amount of experience with. And while we're talking about this Christian bashing Christians concept, one of the main planks of that organization is to turn Christians against Christians. That's what they want to do. Instead of us, that's how you win a war, you divide and conquer.
Right.
So they want to split us up. Brett, we'll get into this, I know, later, but I guess I'm jumping the gun. But they set up a web address in Coleman County supporting our prayer caravan, supporting it.
Okay.
They wanted to get Christians on there and get them to talking. And they'll take, let's say a Christian gets on there and talks about them, thinking that it's a Christian website.
Right.
They'll turn around and quote that. This is how Christians talk.
Wow.
This is how Christians
Using it
do.
as ammo against-
Hey, your buddy Wesley Coleman.
Yes.
He calls me one day and says, "Hey, Dad, I saw that new website up supporting the prayer thing. I joined that." And I said, "Wes, don't let me break your heart here, but that's the other side that did that." And every time somebody would come on and say, "Are we going to lose our baccalaureate service?" Then they turn around and write a letter to us and say, "You've got a complaint by somebody
Wow.
in your system."
Good
They're
Lord.
very smart.
Man, well,
Very
that's
smart.
manipulative. That's
Manipulative.
That is conniving and
Yeah.
and scheming and
Mm-hmm.
trickery. And if you're proud of that operation, you
And
know,
it
be it.
it fully represents.
So be it.
It
So be it,
represents
you
that
know.
organization.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
We're up against our first break.
No.
Stay tuned. More Inside Cornerstone right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
For 30 years, Derek Blythe has built a reputation in the Alexander City area as the family attorney. He's always been passionate about fighting for his clients because he believes everyone deserves an advocate in their corner. People of his community deserve to have someone in their corner to fight for them. And he loves making lasting relationships with those people and their family. Whether you're seeking child custody, divorce, visitation, looking for compensation after being injured in a car accident, probating an estate, dealing with a contractual dispute, fighting criminal charges, Eric Blythe is here for you.
We're off to a roaring start here on Inside Cornerstone this week. And again, want to encourage all of you out there to go to our website, cornerstone-fgmc.org, to find out the latest information on what's going on with our church. You can go to our Facebook page. You can watch this show here on that Facebook page. You can also watch recaps and the sermons from previous weeks with Coach over here, and if you were unable to catch those in real time. So a lot of other things going on with our, organizations and Sunday school classes and Bible studies and all, and you can catch up all of that information right there on the website or on the Facebook page. Coach, going back to our discussion.
And it transcends our church.
This
is the church
it
we're talking
transcends
about. Right.
our church. And again, one thing that we've talked a lot about on this show since its inception is our youth and how important our youth are to us. And again, transitioning from children's ministries to youth and then on to graduation and where they go off to college, a lot of these kids for the first time are away from their core family, and they're going to be exposed to things they've probably never been exposed to. And
no doubt.
And I know the message that you gave our graduates this year was one of, hey, we're still here no matter if we're not in the room with you, we're still here. And you made them take that, that picture with their mind, basically their photographic memory of everybody standing up in support.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
And in the Holy Spirit, we are there.
We are there.
Yes, that's right.
But the vulnerability increases when you're
Yes.
away from those that are really pushing things
Yes.
and trying to lead you down the right path. And so, you hope they make the right decisions. But that was why what we saw at Auburn was so powerful. And again, I've been impressed. I'm going to take the other side for just a second. I've been very impressed with the support and confirmation and all of the different people from around the country coming out saying, man, that was impressive what Auburn did and what those students did and what those leaders did down there. And we need more of that. And they were challenging their universities, other students, other leaders of their universities, challenging their particular university to do the same thing.
Why can't we do that?
Yeah, well, if Auburn's doing it, why can't we do
Right.
it? And I think that's where it starts. And I don't think Auburn did that to try to get fame. They did it because the students and there was a want for that in Auburn, Alabama. And if it attracted and it steered other people to do the same thing, that's wonderful. But it was almost like the revival that went on up in Kentucky.
Yes.
And if you want to do it at your church, that's fine, but you got to be led to do it. And those people at Auburn and the coaches, this was not a photo op. Look, I've been around Bruce Pearl. I've been around Butch Thompson. I haven't really had the pleasure of being around Hugh Freeze yet, but I've been around the other two pretty frequently. And I know who those people are. And I know how passionate they are about Christ. And it's in their sport. It's in the person they are. Look, you don't just take off and put one hat on versus the other. You're either somebody that is a Christian or not. Now, again, that doesn't mean that you don't do and say things sometimes that aren't Christian-like, but you're either a Christian or you're not. It's just like what you said back when you were superintendent of Coleman County. You didn't take your Christian hat off when you walked in the building to become superintendent. It was it was who you are.
That's right.
Take it or
I hope
leave it.
so.
Well,
Supposed to be.
take it or leave it.
Right,
You know,
that's right.
there is no, hey, you got to tell him that once he walks in the door that he can't be a Christian
And that's
anymore. You
exactly
can't-
what they
you
said
can't
to
do
our
that. Well,
board
that's-
about me.
Well, how did that work out for him?
Well, I'm just not going to buy it. The board supported.
Okay, well, there
yeah.
you go.
I'll
I mean-
tell you, go ahead, Brett.
No, but I'm just
finish.
saying that, you know, that you can't force somebody to be somebody that they're
Right.
not, or to take away part of themselves.
I agree.
Because you're walking into another position. And again, if they want to attack Hugh Freeze or Bruce Pearl or Butch Thompson because they happen to be coaches at Auburn University, you're not going to stop those men from being who they are and what they say, no matter what they coach, no
Right.
matter what profession they're
Right.
in.
Well, the word that was put in the letter to our board concerning me was, if Mr. Coleman wants to practice his faith in the privacy of his home or at his church, then let him do it there. But he is not to bring that faith into his job as superintendent of education. But spoken by someone who doesn't understand the Christian life, it impacts all parts of our life. Let me tell you something really positive that I learned. I needed to learn in this. So I get in my office at 2:00 in the morning during this time, and it was about a 3-week thing that went on, and I would have about 300 or 400 emails that I would start trying to address during that time,
Sure.
so it wouldn't mess me up on my job. And yes, Freedom from Religion and their representatives would be on there about how I was stomping on the flag and the Constitution, and I was filthy sorry and stuff like
Have
that.
they read the Constitution?
Do it.
Have they read the Constitution?
Well, good point.
Do they
but
know
you
what
know-
the flag stands for?
I don't. We'll talk. That's next show.
Okay. I'm
But you know what, Brett?
I'm
Look,
confused.
I'm
on that.
fixing
That
to
is-
blow. This is going to blow your mind. All the rest of them were in support of from every state. And I thought about this when you were talking a while ago in the United States. I got a packet of stuff from a prayer group in New York City. I was on Christian talk radio in Los Angeles 3 times. I got all kind of stuff from churches in Los Angeles, every state in the United States. The church right across the road from Freedom from Religion in Madison, they sent me. They
probably sent
you know
you
what
the
they
care
said?
package.
I'll never forget it. They sent me this wonderful supportive thing, and it's like, if you get to feeling bad, just remember this: we're right across the street from them. I mean, but I'm saying there are Christians everywhere, and it unifies.
Was
us.
that one of the biggest battles they fought in their organization?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
Sounds like it.
But it was
Sounds like
was a mini war. I mean, it was
Well, I
definitely
mean-
that. And but it's just it was fat. Hey, I grew from it.
I want to
was
say one
wonderful.
thing. I think one thing I saw, and I believe it was David Pollitt that was talking about the Bible not too long ago, and he said, you know, I used to read the Bible for information, you know, to get information out of the Bible, and he said, you know, now when I read the Bible, I want it to transform who I am. I want to soak in the words of the Bible and be different. I want that book to transform who I am. But I want to go back to the first part about the knowledge thing. And I think it's important when you're fighting any battle in this life, whether it be against an organization that's on the other side from you, or if it's against, you know, a person or whatever it is, that you know what you're talking about. You know, you be educated on the things that they're going to shoot across the fence at you, because again, not saying that that's the one thing that's going to make a difference, but when you can combat their language with backed up, educated language of your own, then they don't have a leg to stand on. Like sending you an email talking about stepping on the Constitution and the American flag. Well, obviously they haven't done. They want to, and the reason I say that, because you can scare somebody that doesn't know the law and the rules into submission by throwing things out there that aren't true. The enemy's going to throw false things at you. And if you don't know any better, then you don't have the ammo to fight it. So, but if you fight back with saying, no, actually you're wrong, and here's why you're wrong, that's when they have to retreat and go back and try to regroup to come up with something else to talk about.
Well, Brett, they're going to always mix some truth in with that, and what we
But
did.
But they've already proved they're conniving and manipulative by creating a false website.
Oh yeah.
So that's who you're dealing with.
That's right. We had to try our best to reply back in respectful Christian ways, because like one guy I remember sent me, he said, I gave my life to defending the right to choose your own religious faith of your own choice, and not to be forced down your throat, all that kind of stuff. But we need to build a wall, and we need to defend our young people. I know you grew up serving young people too, just like I did.
Always have.
And that's my heart. And not tooting. I guess it sounds like I'm tooting Cornerstone a little bit, but all churches that take a stand for their youth. We're 6 or 7 months into our inception, and we're building a youth center. We believe that we're really putting a lot of emphasis, would you say, on youth and children.
I think
they're everywhere.
It's probably the main focus. Right?
Yeah, and let's don't forget this. I know I saw the light.
People are going to actually think you're seeing the light. Like when you say that.
What is the most hard core thing Jesus ever said? If anyone leads one of these little ones astray, it would be better to have a millstone thrown to the bottom of the lake with a rope tied around that person's neck and let them go to the bottom of the sea. Now, that's not Attila the Hun that said that.
That's right.
That's Jesus Christ that said that. Grace, love.
Yeah.
He was very clear. Take care of these young people, and if someone leads them astray, it's bad. Can you think of anything worse than that?
I don't know that there is anything worse, to be honest. And the vulnerability going back and making sure they know as they get older and become adults, they're being again I guess pulled in multiple directions. It's our job to make sure they're pulled in the right direction.
Our youth need to know that we know that nobody is going to come in there and try to take them away from God.
That's right.
Nobody.
No doubt. Up against another break. Stay tuned. More Inside Cornerstone.
I'm going to get a whip or something. I don't know.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6600 888-866-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com today.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy. Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Cornerstone here. A couple segments left in today's show. So
I'm loving this, man.
you did almost jump off set right there.
Well, I
break,
fell
so.
over a little bit, but I caught myself. I mean, this
Well,
stirs my heart,
I think
boy.
it was designed today to discuss this because of it was in the news, and we wanted to talk about it. Now we're going to talk about your message here as well from this past Sunday. And
Jonah?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of my favorite stories of the Bible, because I like fishing.
It's definitely different.
So it is different. Like you said, it's very short. It's kind of odd how it ends.
Funny.
It's fun. It's funny. So here's a guy that's mad at the world.
And God.
And God, and he just kind of leaves him up there on the side of the hill, and it's kind of like to be continued.
Pounding sunburn.
Well, it's kind of to be continued, it was kind of one of those stories.
Yeah, you turn the page and you say,
that was
well,
it.
It's
and
over.
it's almost like God said, that's really all I got for him.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to add to that. But I think a lot of people know the story of Jonah. And it was always called Jonah in the whale, growing up. But I would assume it was a whale that swallowed Jonah. It says a big fish did, but
definitely bigger than a crappie.
Well, now I guess you could get swallowed.
I'm a crappie fisherman.
Right. But yeah, I think the whole gist of what your message was kind of in tune with what we're talking about so far. Is God using imperfect people to
thank goodness.
Well, that's right. To spread His word.
Yes, it's God's will is God's will, and He's going to take us and use us the way He wants to. He's going to equip us, and I just think it sends a powerful message to us that I can't do that. I did this. I can't do that. I mean, Jonah, something I didn't even bring up in the message, Brett. When they throw Jonah off the ship,
right.
It says that everybody on the ship believed in God. Jonah's story brought every person. We think about the people of Nineveh, the 120,000 people that turned to God, that ticked Jonah off that they did. But the people on the boat also were saved. They returned to God.
You brought up a point, and I was thinking about it while you were talking about you're relaying your message to everybody on Sunday. That Jonah represents a lot of people in the fact that, okay, he was tasked with something from God.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't listen the first time, so God put him in the belly of the fish for 3 days.
That gets your attention.
Well, it does, and then he comes out and he goes, all right, I'm going to ask you one more time.
That's exactly
all right, so I'm going to ask you one more time. And so
what do you think now?
All right, Jonah's probably like, I really still don't want to go over there, but I'm not making the mistake of saying no again. So he does it, and he goes around and he tells everybody they're going to go to hell if they don't repent and stuff.
He probably loved doing it.
Right, he did. He kind of probably got a little bit of
relished.
Yeah, right. But he goes up there, and he was disappointed, almost disappointed.
No, he was disappointed.
Well, he was disappointed that they said, okay, you're right. I need to repent. I think there's a lot of that goes on in society today still. I think you got a lot of people out there that say, I want you to turn to God. I want you to repent. I want you to do things, in the name of Jesus. But then secretly in the back of their mind, they're like, man, that's not really, I really wanted them to catch the wrath. I really wanted them
fail.
I really wanted them to rebel. I really wanted them to say, no,
to make me look good.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I want to sit back like Jonah did, and I want to watch them get attacked. And I think, I'm sorry. I think there's a lot of that still goes on.
Well, that might be a little bit in human nature.
It is. I think I think that's where my mind went in the story and being able to sit there and process, here's a guy, why would he not be happy? Why would he be sitting on the side of that hill all mad about the people actually doing what he asked them to do?
And I think the answer to that question is because in his heart, he hated those people.
Well,
that's
kind of where I'm going.
I surely do. In our heart, we have to deal with our hatred. Let's go back a little bit to freedom from religion just for a second.
Right.
We tried to treat them right. We tried to treat them with respect. I hope they felt that way. We didn't put them down or anything like that. But because
we live in a free country.
And here's the lesson. Jesus died for them too. Jesus died for those that persecute us, those that we hate, our enemies, whatever.
No matter if they believe or not.
That's right. He died for them.
Right.
And in our heart, our human heart, by the way, can we deal with that? That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of jealousy too. I think there's a lot of.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of people that get jealous. You used the word, hatred for others. I think that goes on when you've already got your mind made up on how something should turn out, and it doesn't turn out that way. And again, we should all get joy as Christians when people on the other side of the fence see the light and go, you know what? I've been looking at this all wrong this whole time. I need to repent. And you used the story in your message of the notorious gangster in New York City.
Yeah.
I think this whole time that when you were talking about what he did is that he had an image to uphold with his people, the people that followed him. Nicky Cruz in the image that he had to portray. And then it finally got to him that it was inside of him the whole time, but it had to be persistent from that pastor to continue to just pound him with that same message.
It's a great story.
It is. It is a great story.
Pat Boone played David Wilkerson in that movie. There's a movie, The Crossing Switchblade.
Okay.
And it's old. That's why you don't know what it is. But it portrays that very story. And Nicky Cruz, as we said in the message, goes on to become the leading speaker in the country to young people. Let's take it to one more level now.
Let's do it.
All right. So Paul killed Christians, right? Held the garments while Stephen was being stoned. So we know that he was against Christians and was active in the death of Christians.
Right.
So then he becomes converted and becomes a leader in the church. What about the family members of the people that he killed while he was doing that?
What do they
and
think?
now he has been converted. What are they having to do with in their heart? The love of God for others. I mean,
how can this man?
What a challenge!
They're sitting there going, he was complicit in the murder of my
husband or father
my
or
family member.
Right.
But now he wants to walk around and proclaim to be the biggest follower of Christ.
And it took a while for the church leaders to accept him. The key to that was Barnabas.
Right.
Barnabas had
we
friends.
talked about that last week.
Yeah, and he kind of gets Paul finally accepted. But that's a big step. We're human beings. So there is that element in Jonah for sure. That might be people in Nineveh that had killed some of his family. We don't know.
Right.
But we know he hated them.
He didn't want to go there. No. And he went there.
They were heathens to him. They didn't believe in God.
And he got pleasure, like you said. I think he got pleasure walking around telling all of them they were going to go burn in hell.
He actually told God, "I'd rather die. I'd rather die than live." Sitting here, you wilted my tree with your stinking worm, and now I'm getting my head's all blistered and stuff. But the main thing is, I know you do that. Did you like that part?
I did.
I know you do that. That's just the way you are. You forgave my enemies, and I don't like it.
He's just miserable, just old and miserable up there on the
I'm
side.
Getting there.
Up on the side of the
Give you a little time.
I think a lot of people can attest to that too. But I think that there is a lot of humor in the story in what you talked about in your message. But I think you go back and there's all types of different messages within the message. And again, I really thought about him again, coming out saying, I'd still rather not go over there, even though he went through what that experience. But, kind of going back to him sleeping in the bottom of the boat and the storm going on, he's like, yeah, it's probably me. I probably did. Yeah, I'm probably responsible.
But I'm not worried about
just
it.
throw me off and it'll end.
Yeah, throw me off. Y'all be all right.
That's right. So, kind of nonchalantly.
I think so.
Throw into the angry sea out there.
It appears that way.
But, going back to imperfect people, you gave some more examples. You talked about David, what he did. You just talked about Paul. Again, going back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show, the Bible's full one person after another of people like us that God used to show his glory.
Absolutely.
And, we had a conversation in our Sunday school class, and we're finishing up a study on Job. And basically, a lot of times us as Christians don't want to talk about the wrath of God because, Christianity is a religion of peace and love and all that. But we do have a God that has shown numerous times his wrath when things don't go the way he wants them to go.
There are consequences to being disobedient.
I think there's a lot of times we try to skip over those.
Oh, yes.
And try to say, because we know others use that as ammo, say, well, if your God's just so loving, why did he do this?
Yeah.
Why did this happen?
And does Jonah ever go into Nineveh if he doesn't get swallowed by the fish?
I mean, he used force.
He used that as an opportunity to go a different direction,
Good stuff all the way around.
Fun.
We're up against the final break of the show. Stay tuned. One final segment coming up right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
As your State Farm team, we will be there for you with the financial strength to deliver on our promises. Service that's a sure thing. You can think of us as your good neighbors who help protect what's important to you. We're here when you need us the most. You can call us 24/7 to get answers to your questions, file a claim, or see if we can find you more ways to save. We have many coverages and many discounts. We can help protect more areas of your life and find every discount you qualify for along the way. Please call us or visit 2048 Cherokee Road for coverage you can count on.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Amanda Scroggins with RE/MAX Around the Lake will cover every inch of Lake Martin's 880 miles of shoreline to find your family's dream home. Amanda's experience is top-notch, and she is consistently a top 10 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama. Her love for her clients is sincere and from the heart. Call her today at 256-749-6634 or visit her website, amandascroggins.com, today.
For 30 years, Derek Blythe has built a reputation in the Alexander City area as the family attorney. He's always been passionate about fighting for his clients because he believes everyone deserves an advocate in their corner. People of his community deserve to have someone in their corner to fight for them. And he loves making lasting relationships with those people and their family. Whether you're seeking child custody, divorce, visitation, looking for compensation after being injured in a car accident, probating an estate, dealing with a contractual dispute, fighting criminal charges, Eric Blythe is here for you.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Cornerstone. Talking about imperfect people. We're probably two really good representatives
We are, Brent.
of that up here, right?
Yeah, we feel right at home with each other.
We resemble this role well. So,
Absolutely.
But again, want to thank everybody for joining us here in the final segment of the show. Want to talk about a lot of things going on in the church, new members.
Appreciate that.
And Coach, you talked about it Sunday. We're coming up on 7+ months now being a church, and really you got to look at it from a perspective when you start. I know we split from First United Methodist Church, but really you're starting brand new on everything. With your committees, you got existing members, that came over, but you're really starting over from scratch, building your budget, building your finances, building your committees, your personnel. Your staff, there's all of this, and you have to really kind of look at it from that perspective.
Do you think this is accurate? I mean, sometimes preachers go overboard on stuff, but I would say a third to a half of the people that are attending our services now are new people.
I would say.
Is that close?
I would definitely say a third.
Between a third and a half.
I would definitely say a third.
So I think one of our objectives is to take this, what is approaching 100 people. I mean,
100 new people.
We're going to have 100 new members probably before the end of the year. It's not about numbers, but it's reality. And we've got to take those and plug them in to the active roles of our
church. I want to share a positive
church.
story real quick. And I was going to save it to this
I
time.
always yield to positive.
Well, yeah, this
I
is
love
a positive. So I
positive.
got a text message this past week from a lady that I know really well, and she said, "Look, I'm hearing so many good things about y'all's church." And I said, well, and I humbly responded and said, yeah, we're growing and we've got a lot of positive things going on and we're excited. And she said, no, she said, I'm really hearing that the church is on fire. And that's something. And so, I mean, they're thinking about visiting, and coming. And, again, that was not me reaching out saying, hey, in some active recruiting campaign. This was her reaching out to me saying, we're hearing and see the message is getting out. Is what I'm saying. And
well,
I know,
praise God.
Right,
May
right.
He get the glory. I hear you.
And so he's when you're looking at it from that standpoint, his message is being relayed. Not only through us as members, but the positive word that we're wanting out there. All glory be to Him, like you said, is what's being pushed out. And people there's so many people that yearn for that. And again, we're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and we have things that we're working through. But
that's right.
It is good to hear and see.
Sure, it's
she
encouraging.
also saw the show too, by the way. So
still like the church,
and still texted me. So, but so that was a double whammy. But I think that there's a lot more of those people out there that
there are.
That's what we don't do it to try to I guess get positive feedback. We do it because that's what we're supposed to do.
I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. That is encouraging. And as I was saying, we need to take these people as they join our congregation and plug them in and get them involved. So in doing so, there's constant change going on. I mean, we're trying to bring new people in. We don't want to leave them out there just attending the service, and we don't want to force them into something, but we want to make it available to them. And so we're going to be meeting this month, October, to try to come up with the 2024 leadership of the church. And I got to tell you, Brett, we may have bigger committees, but we're not. Our intentions is not to leave anybody out that wants to be a part of that process.
And of course, I mean, and I think new blood, new ideas,
That's a good,
new perspectives.
Yeah.
Always good for a new church. I mean,
That's
again,
right.
we're all in this thing together, and not necessarily. Okay, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
I like that mentality, but
Sure.
also don't be afraid to change some things that might need to be changed.
And we're not replacing anybody. We want every person in our church that wants to be involved
Right.
to be involved. So what? You
But we
got
also-
a committee with 25 people on it. I mean, let's get everybody involved.
And I had another comment from somebody this past week that said, you know, I like being able to come in and not feel like I'm being pressed to do this, or I have to do this, or, you know, just overburdened with the request.
And that can happen.
And it is happening
Yeah.
at that particular church
Uh-huh.
for that person that they're saying,
Yeah.
you know, it's been a breath of fresh air coming over here. And I thought it was perfect timing with your message, you know, again, yesterday, in saying, we want you to be involved if you want to be involved, but we're not going to
That's
come
right.
in and make you uncomfortable and feel like you have to do something.
The first thing we make sure everybody knows, we're not here to pressure anybody to join our church. I'll just tell you what I do. We keep those little pads,
Sure.
and not everybody writes it down, but if you visit for the first and the third time, I call them and I say, we just really appreciate you coming. But at no time, you know, when they are ready to join the church, they can let us know, and then we will rejoice. We had a bunch join Sunday,
We did. We had-
and that's fantastic. But we want to keep our focus on Christ and let them enjoy the service, and when they feel comfortable joining, fine. We respect that, and I hope it continues to be that way.
I do too.
you know.
Jacob's Ladder Reader's Choice Award winner
Yeah,
for
yeah.
best preschool.
Now, you want to see something crazy? Come on Thursdays at 9 o'clock. We do a skit for those kids, and we use them
Wow.
impromptu. We just get them in there, and David Ham was Goliath. So we did David and Goliath, and then we've done Daniel and the Lion's Den, and
Did he
then
hit the ground? Did David hit the ground?
we don't die in the Jacob Ladder skits.
don't-
Nobody dies.
Nobody died, okay, all right.
He got hit by a piece of paper and ran
Okay.
out of the room.
Oh, okay,
You know,
all right.
we kind of have to change
I
some
got
things.
you. I got you.
And let's say it was me, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Some of them were the fire, the furnace. We
Right.
had kids playing, and they had little orange pieces of paper. And I'd say, okay, if I said hot, they'd go, very hot. And but nobody burned up.
That's well.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure everybody knows that.
We've followed all our safety protocols.
We're having a blast, and the other kids that aren't participating, they're going crazy too out
Sure.
there. The teachers probably hate our guts because the rest of the
y'all
day.
go in there and fire them up, and then walk out, and they got to deal with them. Right?
Yeah, good luck. Hi guys, talk to you next
Yeah,
week.
they love to see you guys.
But man, is it fun?
It
It is
is.
so fun.
But congratulations to them.
Oh,
on,
yes.
on what a great.
It's a
program they
wonderful
have.
school. It is.
Wednesday supper continues to be a hit. 150 plus, right? Signing up.
Yeah, 150 right now, and we're still working with the meals and
we know what-
it's
we
really
know what the
hard
meal
to
is
get
this
the
week?
main course and the chicken fingers in the right proportions because we try to have an option for young people. And then I've got 65-year-olds.
do we know-
I'm going to go with the chicken fingers today. So what do we do then? But
Right.
we're tweaking, but it's so much fun. It is,
Do we know what the menu
spirit
is this week?
great. I think it's hamburger steak.
Again, okay.
Well, it's the second time we've had
That's
it.
what I'm saying. But that
See,
was a hit the first
yeah.
time.
Oh, good night. That was a big hit. It was.
So that
Yeah.
that was a big deal. So, but as you watch this, remember you got to get your reservation in by lunch on Monday. So by around noonish on Monday, you need to have that so they can have a head count and a number. All right. So capital campaign, and I know you're not a fan of talking about the money aspect of it, but
Just the money.
Just-
right.
yeah, right.
That's
Just-
right.
just sitting there pounding
Yeah,
the-
that's not my thing, really.
well, that and I get it because, but it is a business, you know, in the church, and I think what you want to talk about is so far 7 months in,
Commitment.
we
Yeah.
haven't lost any of our programs. And
That is truly-
nothing's been jeopardized.
That's amazing. And nothing has been cut in any way.
Right.
And as a result of that, we need to have a capital campaign.
Exactly. Well, and I think
Yeah.
you know that's something. You know, it's like the 800-pound elephant in the corner of the
In
room.
many ways, yes.
You know, but you got to address it, and you got to prepare, and you got to plan, and you got to have a budget for anything. If you're running,
and you know,
any
we
type of
had a
business,
budget.
exactly. So you got to know kind of what your direction is and what you're doing.
Because there's no bottomless pit.
So that's
over here to the right.
and everybody's looking for it, right?
Yeah.
But I think you know, the finance committee's met, and I talked to a couple members on the finance committee this past week, and you know, they're saying, look, you know, start preparing yourself for this, and you know, kind of getting in that mode, and I know that'll be coming up over the next few weeks.
The answer is super simple. Keep our focus where it needs to be, on Christ. And in all things, not just one thing or two things, all things will take care of themselves. Because when we join the church, counting with me. I mean, let's start with me, okay? I made a pledge that I would support the church with my prayers, presence, gifts, my service, and my witness. So it's a commitment that many of us have made. Some haven't answered that question yet, but they're going to answer that question. Right. And I have all the confidence in the world that the Holy Spirit will lead us in the directions that we need to go. But at the same time, for us to sit there and say, well, let's don't even talk about it, I mean, that's going too far on the other side of that. So I'm totally confident that everything's going to be just great. We keep on rolling with our ministries. In fact, that we increase. We may have a ministry one day that addresses at risk. We never know what might happen.
Never know.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. I think that one will be discussed down the line for sure. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Inside Cornerstone. Again,
Man, it was fun.
It was. Great show today. Always fun being up here with you, Coach, and always appreciate all of the kind comments and the feedback that we get on this show. And
thanks to both of you. I greatly appreciate it. I don't with Brett.
You just took the words right out of my mouth.
I doubt it.
My heart goes out to both of those people out there that happen to turn by and see what is this. Just what vaudeville act?
When's the last time Abbott and Costello came on TV?
Well, we're back, you know, in color now, right? So anyway, we're glad that you've joined us, and please, both of you, come join us again next week for more Inside Cornerstone.
Thanks for watching.
Hey, everybody, I'm Brett.
Billy.
And I'm Matt.
And we want you to join us each week for Inside Cornerstone. Coach, Matt, excited to have this show on every single day throughout the week leading up to Sunday.
Jesus Christ is going to be glorified in everything we do. You won't just be listening to messages. You're going to be hearing about things going on in our church.
And make sure you join us at our worship services 9 and 11 o'clock.
Join us each week right here on Inside Cornerstone on WAXC TV.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Medicine Express Family Pharmacy, located conveniently at the corner of Airport Drive and Highway 280 in Alexander City, offers friendly service, convenient drive-through service, and can answer any questions on prescriptions and vitamins. Local family owned with 30-plus years of pharmacy experience, they also offer compounding services, which includes personalized hormone replacement, therapies, and pain gels. And they accept most insurance and discount cards. Go see them today at Medicine Express Family Pharmacy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.